Tonight, there is growing concern and worry about people living in long-term care facilities and how much they're being protected from COVID-19. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Genevieve Curtis.
And I'm Phil Orban. Around the country and here in Mecklenburg County, there have been outbreaks in these facilities. And we made this map to show you the ones that are affected. Outbreaks in 7 nursing homes and assisted living centers across the county.
And people are really calling for more transparency when it comes to reporting this information. Just last night, Mecklenburg County Health Department agreed to publicly disclose where outbreaks are now happening. But there is still a lot of unanswered questions. Channel 9's Aaron Edwards is live with more information that could really answer some of those questions tonight. Aaron.
Since Mecklenburg County announced those 7 nursing homes with cases, a lot of you reached out to us saying you have loved ones at those facilities and you were never notified. Now, out of the 7 places with outbreaks, we've heard 3 did not notify residents or their family members, including the Social, the Pavilion, and Huntersville Oaks. Viewers who reached out to us say they learned about the cases from watching the news and haven't been able to get answers from the facilities. Now, here's a look at those 7 places reporting outbreaks. Mecklenburg County says they're not releasing the amount of cases at each facility right now, so we don't have all the numbers, but here's what we've learned. Autumn Care of Cornelius has at least 4 staff members who tested positive and 1 person died, although it's unclear if they were a resident or an employee. A resident also died due to COVID-19 at the Social here in Cotswold, and we're told there are 15 positive cases at the facility. At the Pavilion, we know 11 residents and 2 staff members tested positive. The other 4 facilities that are reporting outbreaks in Mecklenburg County are Hunter Woods Nursing and Rehab Center, Huntersville Oaks, Carrington Place Rehab and Living Center, and the Laurels. Health officials say those places have outbreaks, which means they have 2 or more positive cases. Now, we did reach out to those facilities. Some say they can't answer questions right now. Others didn't answer the phone at all. But we'll, of course, continue to work to find out how many cases are at these facilities and what they're doing to keep their employees and the residents safe. Genevieve.
Definitely a big issue for loved ones. Aaron, thank you. Well, cases are still rising in North Carolina tonight. There are more than 6,100 positive cases and 164 deaths. Now, of those cases, close to 400 people are in the hospital. In Mecklenburg County, 3 are more than 1,100 cases and 15 deaths. In South Carolina, there are more than 4,200 cases and 119 deaths. That's 3 new deaths and 165 new cases. Lancaster County has 2 deaths. York County has 3. And the debate over when and how states reopen has really become front and center in this debate.
And now we're hearing from the team of researchers and health experts that will help the governor make that decision. The team released a study on what the effects of reopening the economy would have and recommended the now familiar dimmer switch approach of slowly opening parts of the economy. It says that should include rapid testing and contact tracing, along with watching hospital capacity and PPE supplies for hospitals. It says each phase should include time between steps to see the impacts each one has. That means it could be a while before life returns to normal. The study says, quote, society's responses to it will be part of our lives for a long time, and that even as we reopen, we need to embrace social distancing practices to protect both public health and the economy. But it said the only true long-term solution to fully eradicate the virus or to develop a broadly effective and safe treatment for the virus.
And on Thursday, the president unveiled his plans. He says he'll be reopening the country in 3 phases. Each phase comes every 14 days and will slowly allow people to start doing things like gathering in large groups, traveling, and heading back to work. Just on Tuesday, a group called Reopen North Carolina protested in Raleigh. They were asking Governor Roy Cooper not to extend the stay-at-home order later this month. Police arrested 1 person during that protest. Protesters were back outside of a Charlotte women's clinic this morning, just a week after several arrests there. Today, there were only half a dozen protesters at the women's clinic on Latrobe Drive. It appeared that they were separated and police were on the scene just to make sure, but no one was arrested. One of the 8 protesters who was arrested last week is now suing the city of Charlotte. The The Alliance Defending Freedom said it filed the lawsuit in federal court on behalf of a protester and 2 anti-abortion groups. The suit says police singled out the protesters and that their actions should be considered essential activity.
Starting Monday, workers at Walmart will have to wear a mask, and they're encouraging customers to do the same. Walmart said employees will be given a mask if they need one, or they can buy their own as long as it meets certain guidelines. Workers will also be required to pass a health screen and temperature check. In Durham, people are now required to wear a face mask anytime they'll be in public. It's part of the city's updated stay-at-home order. Even though the face coverings are required, no one will be told to leave stores or other public places if they don't have anything covering their face. The new rule goes into effect Monday.
Soldiers at Fort Bragg have a new mission to help brave men and women working on the front lines of this pandemic. It's called Operation Dragon Masks. Soldiers are sewing masks together for medical workers. Another unit is working on plastic face shields to keep those workers safe. It's an assignment that's a little unusual for the base, but it is one that they are glad to have.
This is not just a military fight. It's not just a civilian fight or a fight for military or essential personnel, but this is a fight for everyone.
Now, in total, they can make 1,200 masks and 100 face shields every 2 days.
Another local postal worker tested positive for the coronavirus. This person works at the Kannapolis post office. Officials say they think the risk for other employees who also work at the facility is low, but they're keeping their employees informed about what's going on. Just yesterday, we told you about another postal worker who tested positive for the virus. This person works at the Mid-Carolina Processing and Distribution Center in West Charlotte. The USPS believes the risk is low for other workers. A prison officer trainee in Burke County, he's tested positive for COVID-19. The Morganton News-Herald reports the cadet was training at the Western Foothills Training Center in Valdez. Out of caution, all other cadets are in quarantine and being tested for the virus, along with training staff. There were a total of 30 cadets in the class.
The Billy Graham Library grounds will be open starting on Monday. There's going to be limited access, though, for the property for those who want to visit the outdoor memorial prayer garden for prayer and reflection. Only 20 people will be allowed on the property at a time. Additional hand sanitizer stations will also be available. Well, after putting out a need for face masks, CMS says they have met their goal. School board leaders put out an urgent need for 1,000 face masks earlier this month. 500 school employees needed those masks so that they can wear those to the 70 lunch distribution sites. After 2 weeks of collecting donated masks, school board leaders say they have reached their goal.